Hello everyone. Today's video is about the study of the 12th pada in our natal chart. So recently, if you remember, I had made a video about the Arud Lagna or the first pada, that is the pada of the first house of our natal charts. So that tells about us, our impression on the outside world. But if we want to study in detail about our marriage, then we will have to find out the pada of the 12th house. So friends, there are 12 houses in a given chart, and the pada of each and every houses can be made in the same manner in which you had made the Lagna Arud chart. So basically, today we are going to only talk about the 12th pada and the details about your married life. So this is the pada. When we will make it, the ascendant will tell about your spouse. What would be the social standing of your spouse, and what would be his or hers thought process, and how long the marriage is going to survive, what would be the complexion of your spouse, how will be your relationship with the family members or with the friends of your spouse. Everything can be told through the Uppapada chart. Now, Uppapada chart can also be written as UL or the Uppapada chart. Now let's first quickly try to see how we make the 12th pada chart. So friends, it is being made on the same grounds as I had told you in my previous video. So you have to, for your comfort, I have taken the Aries ascendant only. So let's suppose the 12th house pada we have to make in this case. This is the sign of Pisces, and Jupiter, for example, is sitting in your, say, 10th house. So it means it is sitting 11 places away from its sign of Pisces. We have to figure out the 12th pada. So what we have to do is we have to count 11th place from this position, and the 11th place will be Scorpio sign. So it means your 12th pada will fall in the Scorpio sign. Now let's take another example. Suppose your 12th lord Jupiter is sitting in the say second house. So it means the 12th pada will be counted from here. From here, if you count, this second house will become the 12th pada for your chart. Now, if you remember, I had told you about 4 exceptions which you have to keep in mind. The first exception was if the 12th lord is sitting in the 12th house itself, then the 12th pada will be in your 10th house. So this house will contain the 12th pada. This is the exception number 1. If the 12th lord is sitting 7 places away from itself, then the 4th house from here will be the 12th pada. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, the Sagittarius sign or the 9th house is becoming your 12th pada in the exception number 2 also. Now, let's suppose if your 12th lord is sitting in the 4th house from itself, 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose Jupiter is sitting in the 4th house from itself. So in this case, the 12th pada will be the 3rd house itself. So it will fall in the same house. Now the exception number 4 is that if the 12th lord is sitting in the 10th house, Jupiter is sitting in the 10th house from itself. So from itself, this is the 10th house. So if Jupiter is sitting here, then the 12th pada will fall in the 7th house from this place. So from this place, the 7th house is this. So this becomes your 12th pada once again. So these are the 4 exceptions that you have to keep in mind. So friends, if you find it very difficult to make the Uppapada chart, then you can simply go to the software, and the software will also show in which sign is your 12th pada falling in your chart. So I use Pressure Light software. In that, we can easily find out each pada of each house. So once you have figured out the 12th pada, then you can put the 12th pada here in the ascendant. You can rotate the entire chart. For example, in this case, let's say, let's just assume that in the Aries sign itself, our 12th pada is falling. So we are now assuming, because we want to study the 12th pada now, right? So this is the Aries sign, and this is, say, your Uppapada chart. So we have rotated the entire chart to the Aries sign. So the first thing that you have to keep in mind is you have to see the placement of the Lagna Lord. So here the Lagna is, 12th pada Lagna is contained by Aries sign. And the Lagna Lord, that is Mars, say it is sitting in the Capricorn sign. So it is exalted here. So it means your spouse will have a very good status, very good social standing if the Lagna Lord is exalted. If the Lagna Lord is debilitated, now we know Mars becomes debilitated in the sign of Cancer. It shows that the spouse will not have a good social standing. But because it is falling in the Kendra houses. So friends, there is a rule of cancellation of debilitation. And if a planet is getting debilitated in the Kendra house itself, then the debilitation is automatically getting cancelled. It means the spouse may not be of a good social standing, but later on he will attain a very good position if the ascendant lord is becoming debilitated in the Kendra houses. Now, after this, we have to also keep in mind, if the ascendant lord is sitting in your 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, or in your 3rd house, then we can say the status of the spouse may not be satisfactory. If the ascendant lord is sitting in the Kendra houses, or in the 11th house, or even in the 2nd house, in the 5th house, or 9th house, then we can say that the status of the spouse will be good. After having seen the status, next point is to focus on the thought process of your spouse. So the thought process is basically seen through the planets which are aspecting your ascendant or which are sitting in the ascendant itself. Planets which are sitting in the ascendant will tell you about your spouse, because the 1st house is your spouse, 12th pada is your spouse, and the opposite house is you. So planets which are sitting in the ascendant or which are sitting in the 7th house will tell about you and your spouse, about which we will talk later on. Okay. So we'll talk about this later on. First, let's cover the other points. So if your 12th pada lord, say Mars here, is sitting in 12th place from itself, it shows that the native either may not marry or may not get married due to some reasons. If the ascendant of the 12th pada is sitting in the 12th house, the native may never marry. This is the 3rd point. Then is the 4th point is to see the 1st pada and the 12th pada repo. 12th pada and the 1st pada repo. For example, let's say your 1st pada fell in the Capricorn sign. It is falling in the Capricorn sign. So it means from here, if you see the 12th pada is in the Kendra house, it is sitting 4 places away. 1, 2, 3, 4. It means you will have a very good understanding with your spouse. 1st pada is you and 12th pada is your spouse. So you will have a good understanding. If from the 1st pada, the 12th pada is sitting here in the Kendra or here in the Kendra, anywhere in the Kendra or anywhere in the trine, from here the trine would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This place would be the trine. 6, 7, 8, 9. This place would be the trine, or this place itself. If the 12th pada is falling here in the trine, or in the trine here, or in the trine here, then also you will have a very good understanding with your spouse. So we just learned, if the 12th pada is in trine or in Kendra or in the 11th house from the 1st pada, then the understanding between the couple is very, very good. So this was the 4th point. Now the 5th point, you have to keep in mind the 7th pada also. So friends, up till now, I have been talking about the 12th pada and the 1st pada. Now let's also use the 7th pada, which is all about your sexual compatibility with your spouse. So if the 7th pada, suppose, is sitting here. So from the first pada, if you see, the seventh pada and the first pada are in the Kendra houses. It means your sexual compatibility with your partner, with your marriage partner, will be very good. If the seventh pada is in the Kendra, say here, or even here, then also you can say the sexual compatibility between the partners is very good. If the seventh pada is in the trines to the first pada, then also it is very good. But if the seventh pada is sitting in the 12th house to your first pada, or it is sitting in the third house, so I'll write down, if the seventh pada and 12th pada, if the seventh pada and the first pada are 3, 6, 8 and 12 places away from itself, if the seventh pada is 3, 6, 8, 12 places from the first pada, then we can say that the compatibility, sexual compatibility will be very bad. So this point I have told you. Then the sixth point is that you have to also focus on the second house of your Uppapada. The second house will tell you about the longevity of your marriage. If there are malefics or debilitated planets in your second house, sitting or aspecting, then you can say that the marriage longevity is low. If there are exalted planets sitting here, or benefic planets are sitting or aspecting this house, then you can say that the longevity is good and you don't need to worry. After that, you have to again come to the second point, which I told about the planets in the seventh house. So let's suppose in the seventh house planet, sun is sitting. Say sun is sitting in your Uppapada chart in the seventh house. So first of all, that will tell you that your spouse is coming from a very good family status. He could be very well accomplished and he could be very proud. He could be very authoritative. He could be having some linkages with the government. It can also mean that the spouse can have some good understanding or some good benefits coming from the government if the sun is in a good shape. I mean to say, if the sun is not debilitated, as in this example, and if sun is getting some benefic aspects, then the spouse will prosper from the government side and he could have a good place in the government sector. But if the sun is debilitated as like this, or if the sun is with planet Rahu, then the spouse could have some addictions like alcohol addictions or some other form of addictive habits. If sun is sitting in some afflicted state here in the seventh house, the native can also go through some government actions if sun is sitting in a bad position here, afflicted by malefics or afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, then the person can have difficulties. Otherwise, sun can give you good results in the seventh house as per the marriage partner is concerned or his thought process is concerned. If you are having moon sitting in the seventh house, so friends, moon is a planet which can make your spouse very emotional, very loving, very caring, and very fair, very good looking. So the partner could be very motherly types, and the partner could also be very creative, and there is a possibility that the partner's love and affection keep on changing from time to time, because moon is always changing its size. So that we call as the pakshabala. Moon is like revolving around the sun, and sometimes moon goes very close to sun, it becomes dark moon. Sometimes moon is away from sun, in front of sun, it becomes full moon. So when moon is good, moon is waxing, then the spouse will show great affection. When moon is waning, the spouse can just be totally the opposite. In this position of moon, it will also tell about your health. You could be very slender, you could be very, very slim, you could have heart related issues also if moon is sitting in the seventh house. If you are having planet Saturn sitting here, it shows that you will grow after marriage, you will have a good position, you will travel to foreign lands, and social standing will improve after marriage. About the spouse, it says that the spouse could be very hardworking, the spouse could be very disciplined, and the spouse could be of a serious temperament. Now we'll talk about Mars sitting in your 7th house. So friends, Mars is basically a planet of agitation, a planet of anger, fight. So it shows that you could also be of that temperament. Where your spouse is concerned, you could be tempered, and your spouse will also be short tempered. But at the same time, they will be affectionate, they will be loving from heart, but prone to anger. Now, Mars is giving Argala on your 4th house. This is the 4th house, and it is giving Pap Argala. Pap Argala means negative Argala. So it will curtail the happiness of marriage if it is in the 7th house. It shortens the married life. The person may divorce, or due to some reason they get separated. But if a benefic is aspecting on your 7th house, then the marriage is safe, but the couple continue to fight despite being together if Mars is in your 7th house of Uppapada chart. Then we will see Mercury sitting here. So Mercury is a benefic planet sitting all alone. It shows that the partner could be very businesslike, partner would be very intellectual, very friendly, he may have many friends. It can mean that the partner could also be having sharp features, and the partner could be very friendly in disposition and could be very young looking, because Mercury is basically associated with young looks. So it can also make you looking very young, and so would be the spouse. So you have to keep in mind, if Mercury is having any aspect of moon, or moon is sitting with Mercury or in trines to it, then it will mean that the partner or the native may not be very dependable. Sometimes it is casting its impact on the native majorly. The native could be like very promiscuous, I would say, or the native would always listen to his inner thoughts, and he will not worry about what is good and what is bad. So he will do as per the whims and fancies of his mind if moon is with Mercury. So that is not a good association if they are in trines or if they are associated with each other in your chart. So that makes your spouse very learned, and so would you be. Now, if you are having planet Venus sitting here, it shows that the spouse is going to be very good looking, very loving, and finances will grow after marriage. So this is because the 7th house of your marriage chart. So it can also mean that you could have many relationships, or you could be sexually very active because of the presence of Venus in your 7th house of Uppapada chart. But it will definitely give you a fair spouse. Now, if you are having Jupiter in your 7th house, so friends, Jupiter in this position is considered good. It will give you a very wise spouse, very knowledgeable spouse, very matured spouse, and your luck will grow after marriage. And overall, it will give you a good, happy married life. Spouse could be very intellectual, could be an author. He could be very fond of reading and writing. If you are having Rahu placed in your 7th house of Uppapada chart, then you can say that the spouse may not be very reliable, or you could end up marrying somebody who is already married, or who could be a widower, or this can give some kind of dissatisfaction in the married life. You could also marry a foreigner, and this position will not give much happiness in the marriage, and sometimes the person will be so dissatisfied with his married partner that the native himself may end up having extramarital affairs if Rahu is in the 7th house. Not a good position, and if there is a benefic, then the things can be controlled. But if there is no benefic aspect on the 7th house with this Rahu, things can go very wrong. So also, if you remember, I told you, Rahu in the 7th house and Rahu in the 2nd house can cause extramarital affairs. Now, if you are having Ketu in your 7th house, so Ketu gives you a very, very, you can say, spiritual spouse, or the native may not marry at all if Ketu is present here. This position can sometimes cause very, you can say, lots of disinterest in the marriage. The native may not marry, or the relationship will be just for the namesake. So it is going to deny the happiness of marriage. So always remember, wherever Ketu is placed, the happiness of that house from living beings is often denied. At the same time, if you turn spiritual, things may not be that bad. Now, Ketu is also giving a Pap Argala on your 4th house. If you look here, so Ketu in the 4th house is causing Pap Argala, means it is curtailing the happiness of the marriage. So friends, these are some of the points about the Uppapada chart which I wanted to share with you. So I hope you must have learned how to construct the Uppapada chart and how to read the Uppapada chart. So these are some of my learnings of the Uppapada. I hope you would also have gained something from this analysis, or you can say from this study. Stay connected to my video. Do share this video with your friends, and I will try to bring some more interesting topics in the near future. Till then, goodbye, friends.